if we came up with you, we're going to bring you back on the podcast. A lot of people like to criticize Donovan or whatever, but Donovan was the first person that gave me a chance. Like, Donovan brought me on his shit to talk about fitness, right? And that was like kind of like my first debut, was like me even being on the internet in the first place. I was still working for the government and shit back then. Like, Donovan gave me my first shot. So it's like, he put me in touch with Kevin Samuels. He put me on the 7 when he didn't have to.
Fasted cardio. You talked about the origination of fasted cardio. Is just like Curtis in Washington asked, does it work? Is it hocus pocus, or is it a cheat code? Like, what exactly is it?
It's hocus pocus, and the thing is that fasted cardio came from a study back in the 70s where they took people and they had them exercise with no food in their system, and they burned more stored body fat. However, this doesn't override the fact that controlling calories is the ultimate determinant of whether you're going to gain or lose body fat. So, and they did a study actually recently, I think it was 2015, Brad Schoenfeld, and what they did was they took 2 groups of women, and they had one group do fasted cardio, another group do regular fed cardio, but they controlled calories and protein between the 2 groups. And what they found was pretty much fat loss was equal in both groups, despite one group burning more stored body fat from the morning cardio. So what it comes down to is, regardless of when you do your cardio, calories still got to be controlled. And what I always say is do cardio when it's best for you to adhere. So if you if you want to lose weight and you're doing cardio to supplement your weight loss, we know obviously weight training needs to be the cornerstone of your training. And then you could add cardio once you start hitting sticking points. If you are going to do cardio, then I always say separate it as far away from your weight training as you can so it doesn't impede your ability to weight train with intensity, because that's going to be responsible for maintaining your lean body mass. The diet's going to be responsible for eliciting the calorie deficit, which is going to lose the fat, and then cardio could be to supplement. So it doesn't matter when you do it, whether it's day or night. Just make sure whenever you decide to do the cardio, it's at a program that you can stick to, because we all know adherence is the number one factor when it comes to success in the gym.
Excellent, man. Good, very, very good answers. The Marfuki man with the $125 super chat says, thank you all for doing what you're doing. Keep dropping these nuggets, and congratulations on the new studio. My apologies, guys. My voice left me a couple days ago, and I'm trying to get it back, but I'm good to go. Medinaha with the 5 euros. He asks a question. Does the average calorie intake take into account intense physical activity like heavy weightlifting and cardio? Nice toes, by the way, sir.
Thank you. So great question. So I always tell guys, track what you're eating. Don't worry too much about how many calories you're burning. And me and Donovan actually did an experiment about this, guys.
Yes, we did.
Where Donovan's calorie tracker was telling him, hey, eat an extra 500 calories or whatever.
Yes,
and
right.
I was like, no, don't listen to it, because calorie expenditure apps are chronically incorrect. And I made a video on this on my YouTube. Are Fit Watch or like calorie tracking apps correct?
Yes.
Calorie expenditure apps correct? And the answer is they're not, guys. And there's a couple studies where they took Fitbits, and all these other apps that track, you burn this many calories, and they're
you can
way
eat an
off.
extra 50 calories.
They're way off, guys.
Oh, okay.
See, even Devin knows. You want to talk about it, Devin?
I always suspected that stuff is just hocus pocus.
So you've tried that too?
I've tracked. I've done the Fitbits, the smartwatches, the tracking calories, MyFitnessPal, and it doesn't work. It works is like following your trainer's plan.
Right.
Right. And actually working out 5 days a week, that really helps too.
Yeah, that helps too. Absolutely.
So I would say don't worry too much, guys, about tracking like how many calories you're burning in the gym. Rather, track what you can control 100%, which is what you're putting in. And then get a body of work from that, figuring out eat the same foods consistently, and you'll be able to figure out what your maintenance calories are, and then you'll be able to either increase or decrease from that based on your goals. But do not listen to calorie expenditure apps. They're not accurate, because if we had listened to that to what Fitbit had told us with Donovan, he wouldn't have lost weight. Nope. So because it was actually telling him, hey, you earn an extra 500 calories every day. So if he had done that, he would have definitely not been able to lose weight. So
yeah, go ahead.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that finding foods that you can eat consistently and having a consistent diet, so you're eating the same things or similar things at the same time of day, every day in similar portions, that is, for me, I found is key. And it's the easiest to stick to, and it's the easiest to just turns into a mental habit. So you don't even have to think about your diet anymore. That's just what you eat. That's what you do. And, I don't know. My trainer always tells me, like, you should, eat this at this time and don't eat before before you
Right.
go to bed and all this stuff, but like I eat when I'm hungry. I don't eat a lot. I'm kind of a little bit of a grazer, so I like
grazes,
to
yeah.
eat small amounts of food throughout the day. But as long as it's consistent, then I don't have a problem with it. And I don't know. I think that the consistency with your meal choices, I think for that is so helpful.
No, for sure. When I lost all the weight,
Yeah.
I ate the same exact. So I got up to 250 pounds, guys. I got like really big. Right
man,
now I'm
we saw
about
it. You had titties and
205.
everything, right?
Yeah, I had titties and everything, dude. I was lactating. And the way I lost the weight was I ate the same food every single day. I tracked it all the time. And when you eat the same foods all the time, basically you're in control of how many calories you're
itself,
consuming.
yeah.
And the beauty is this. When you start hitting sticking points, you just take out one small piece of food from that, and then boom, you're losing weight again. So it's excellent for eating the same foods consistently is going to set you up to win because you just have a pattern, you know exactly what's in it. And I eat Chipotle every single day for like 7 months, and I lost 50 pounds. And I had like my dinner planned out, everything was the same. Yes, it's boring, guys. Yes, it's monotonous, but hey, you want results or do you want to cry? You know what I mean?
Listen, I agree 100%, and I call this the Steve Jobs effect. Steve Jobs, and everybody knows this story, Steve Jobs wore the same thing every day. And the reason why he wore the same thing every day is because he didn't want to think about it. He was too busy changing the world. I mean, it was the the black turtleneck. He's famous for that. And a lot of guys say, well, I want some variety in my diet, and I don't want to get bored. Listen, it takes, 5 to 7 minutes to eat a meal?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the same thing every day. That's 20 minutes a day that you're doing the same thing. There are things that you do every day on the regular that are exactly the same thing. Your diet can't be no different, if that makes any sense. And here's another thing. Do you want to be bored or do you want to be fit?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
And the thing is, I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. A lot of you guys are soft. I'm just gonna say it like it is. A lot of people turn eating into a hobby or call themselves a foodie. Everyone I know that calls himself a foodie, excuse my language, is a so they're soft. Like, oh, I'm gonna make like I'm a foodie. I'm gonna go and eat this, and it's like a hobby for me to go eat. Like that's if you need instant gratification that much through the food that you eat, then you're not built for this, man. Like, yes, you're gonna have to eat food that doesn't taste good all the time. Yes, you're gonna have to choke down vegetables. Yes, you're gonna have to eat foods that aren't the best tasting. But you got to look at food from an objective standpoint. This is fuel so that I can train, so that I can do well, so I can look better, feel better. And at the end of the day, man, like that 5 seconds of satisfaction that you get from eating a piece of chocolate or eating candy, whatever it may be,
It's fleeting.
it's fleeting, man.
Yeah.
You know? So